So previously we talked about the if and else statements, but here we can see that we have another type here, which is the else in combination with the if. So don't be confused with all of these if and else statements you see here. Just read it like you would with any English text. Okay. So here we're checking if age is less than 13, then we'll do whatever is in here. Else if age is less than or equal to 19, then we'll do that. Else if age is less than 65, then we'll execute what is in that block. Otherwise, if everything else is false, then we're going to execute what is in this block. So part of being a good programmer is to be able to look at other people's code and read and understand what the code is supposed to do. So take a few seconds to try to understand what we're trying to achieve with this code. Okay, so let's go over this. So first, we can see that our program here is enabled for input, and we're prompting the user to enter their age. And then once the user enters their age, we're going to collect that input and we're going to assign it to a variable called age. And then based on what the user entered or whatever the value of age is, we're either going to output child, teenager, adult, or senior. So let's use an example here. So suppose the user entered 40 as the age. So first, we're going to check if it's less than 13, and that is false. So we're going to go to the next block, and then we're going to check if age is less than or equal to 19, which is still false. So we jump to the next block. We check in if age is less than 65. And since 40 is less than 65, this is true. So then we display adult. And then our program ends there. So you're probably wondering what exactly is the difference between the if and the else if that we see here. Whenever you see an else, that means that that section of code is only going to be run if the previous section failed. Okay. And when you see an else in combination with an if, that means that we're only going to run that block of code if the previous section failed and if the condition that we have in our if statement here is true. That's basically all there is to it. So suppose we use another example here. Okay, so let's say the age is 5, right? So if the age is 5, first we're going to check if age is less than 13. And since that is true, 5 is less than 13, we're going to display child. And since we have an else if here, since the previous statement was true, that means we're not going to proceed or run this block. But suppose instead of else if, I used an if statement here, okay? And the age is still 5. So first we check if 5 is less than 13, which it is, so we display child. And then since there's no else here, that means we don't care whether the previous statement was true or false. We're still going to run this if statement. And then we check if age is less than or equal to 19. And since 5 is less than or equal to 19, we're still going to print teenager. So if age is 5, we'll have two outputs, child and teenager. So as you can see, an else if statement is important if our code is only going to check for a specific condition if the previous condition failed.